Oh, I didn't see you guys there. You guys caught me staring at my desktop here. I mean, it's not like I have a camera here or this microphone set up just for this cheesy intro. No. It is actually coming close to the end of the year, and I will be showing you guys my camera bag for 2020. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the camera gear I use for video and photography. This video specifically, I'll be showing you guys my photography bag. And I do plan on making a separate video for my video bag because that's just a whole nother thing. But this is pretty much what I carry when I go out to do shoots. Now, I may not remember the names of everything I have, but if I find it, I'll put it in a list below so you guys can see everything I have in the bag. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, so this is my photography bag. I have the Lowepro Teho BP 150. It's blue. It's a pretty compact bag. There's enough padding for the stuff I carry. I try not to carry too much stuff in here when I go out to shoot, and it just does the job. Alright, so let's just open this thing up. Alright, let's start off with the camera body first. So I am a Canon user. I primarily use Canon lenses and their camera bodies. I have tried out the Sony system, but it's just not my cup of tea. Anyways, I have the EOS R body on here with the 24-70 2.8. This is a great lens for shooting portraits. Probably one of my favorite zoom lenses because you can just get some really good full body shots all the way up to headshots with these. Second lens I have in here is also mostly used for portraits. It is the 35mm 1.4. Another great lens for when you're doing portraits for like any kind of like waist up shot, or you can probably even do some full body shots out of this too, but yeah, this is a really great lens when it comes to portraits. Now this is one of my favorite lenses to use for portraits when you want to get that blurry bokeh background. The 85 1.4. This is a great lens. Opens up super wide and you get super blurry background, and even has image stabilization if I'm using it for video or something, but I'm not talking about that. I also have the Peak Design strap in here. I think this is like the mini version, but these are really great when you need to have your camera on you or take it off real quick. I also have a wireless remote flash trigger in here. It is the Flashpoint R2 Pro for Canon, and what you basically do is you just put it on top here, and if you have one of the Flashpoint or Godox brands of external flashes, you can basically control the output of the flash. And I might make a video showing you guys how to use an external flash in daylight, because I find it really a game changer when you want to get like the details from the sky or like sunset photos. Yeah. Another flash I have on the side pocket here. It is the Canon 470EX AI speedlight. I don't use this speedlight too often. I don't tend to use speedlights, but this one's really cool. So I mainly use this for event photography or parties when I'm inside and I need like some bounce lighting off the ceiling. And what's really cool is that once you set the flash to bounce off the ceiling, you can basically walk around the party or event and shoot in any orientation you want, and it will automatically bounce off the ceiling. Just saves a bunch of time. So the rest of these are basically just a bunch of filters I use. Specifically, since I have the EOS R, I do not have any RF mount lenses for it, so I do use the adapters to EF lenses, and these are like the special adapters where, let me show you. So this one specifically is the variable ND, and you have this piece of glass that goes right in between your lens and camera, and then you can change the darkness of it, which is really good because it is behind the camera lens and it prevents any kind of like smudging or dust being in front of the lens. Another filter adapter that I have is for polarizing. Now, not a lot of people know what a polarizer is used for. Now, when you turn this filter, you don't really see much of a change, and not a lot of people really know what polarizers are used for. They're basically just used to get rid of like any kind of glare off of reflexive surfaces like metal or plastic or glass. Especially for like car shoots or like product photography, getting rid of glare is like a really important thing. All right, so I also have these Tiffin filters, and these are square filters where you mount them on the front of your lens. And I think I also have, all right, so these are rings that go around your lens. There is this Tiffin clip where you basically attach your lens, your ring onto the lens, and then this onto the ring. The filters I have in here are like creative filters. So this is like for a sunset sort of effect. So once you put this filter in through this in front of your lens, it will give you a sort of sunset gradient, which is a really cool like creative effect that you can achieve with this instead of like in post. Now I also have another one that's for a more twilight-like effect, and these are all like really smudgy right now. But you usually want to wipe these and then put them over your lens again, and basically you'll just get a twilight effect. So yeah, these are basically just like creative filters that you can put over your lens to get like a fun photo, unlike the more technical filters. I might actually make a separate video on filters themselves because not a lot of people know about them, and I just think they're really cool. Alright, so the last couple of things I have in here are basically just for like business and like advertising. First, I have a retractable Sharpie, and that is for these. I have these "Hello, my name is" sticker sheets. Basically what I do is I just put my name, Brian, the photographer, and when I'm out like shooting events or like parties and people don't know me, they'll come up to me and ask me for my business card. In which case I'll also pull out my business cards. So I usually do carry some business cards on me when people come up to me, so I could just pull it out and give it to them. But I just have like some spare ones in here just in case I run out or something. And that is pretty much it for my photography bag. Like I said, I try not to carry too much on me when I'm going out to shoot, but I've been doing this photography thing for about 4-ish years, and I'm pretty happy with this setup. And I hope that answers your questions for the gear I use. Now I do hopefully plan on making more camera related videos like this, so if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you know, you could subscribe or like or comment. But if you're not, feel free to unsubscribe or just not subscribe. Yeah. No, but really, I understand that this video isn't the first video on my channel and that my previous content has been vastly different. But this is the direction that I want to take this channel in. Teaching people about this art form and this craft that I'm so passionate about, and hopefully can help teach you guys a little bit on the way. So it would not hurt my feelings at all if those of you who were subscribed for my previous content were to unsubscribe, but it would also mean a lot to me if you guys stayed subscribed and continued with me on this journey. And for those of you who aren't subscribed, subscribe. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to try something a little different here. If you guys put your questions down in the comments, at the end of every video, I'm going to try to answer your questions at the end. So over on my Instagram, I actually asked you guys to ask me your camera related questions, and I was going to answer them here. Alright, so the first question I got was, I got the new iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's able to shoot RAW photos. Could you explain what it is? I honestly don't really know too much about the new Apple RAW. But if it's anything like any of the other camera RAW files, then it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna have more information that you can pull from, like the colors, the shadows, the highlights. And I think the new iPhones can shoot 10-bit RAW video, which is really awesome for like high dynamic range. But Apple already has their awesome software system processing the images for you. Now the next question is, what's the girth of your favorite lens? Now that's kind of giving me weird vibes, and like it feels kind of inappropriate. I don't think I can answer. 77 millimeters on 85 1.4. What is the best way to shoot fast moving action shots without getting a ton of blur? Usually when you're shooting action shots and you get blur, it's because your shutter speed is too slow. Your camera shutter is basically what exposes your camera sensor to whatever you're shooting. So the longer that your shutter is open, the more light and information is hitting that sensor. So when you hold it for like a second, any motion that's happening will be caught on that sensor and you'll get that blur. But the faster your shutter speed is, it will only capture a fraction of a second of that moment. So it will capture less light, but it will also capture less information that's in the movement if it's only like a fraction of a second. So when you do that, you get less motion blur. What camera and software do you recommend for making YouTube videos? It depends on what kind of YouTube videos you're making. The software I use is Premiere Pro, the Adobe software. It's really good. You get a lot of control over a lot of things, and it just works for me. That is. Most phone cameras are like really good for home videos. Like in the previous question, that iPhone 12 Max is able to shoot like RAW photos and like shoot really good like video quality. I don't think it's great for like professional video stuff, but it's really good for like home setups and stuff like that if you're trying to get into YouTube. In what kind of shoots is it appropriate to use automatic? In what kind of shoots is it appropriate to use manual versus automatic? I'm assuming you're talking about camera mode. I would say every shoot you should use manual. Like the case of the motion blur. If you have your camera set to automatic, you don't have any control over the motion blur you're getting or the depth of field. I promise you, once you use manual, you'll never use automatic. No professional photographer uses automatic for their shoots. But I guess when you're first using your camera, it's alright to use automatic, but really try to learn how to use manual. I might even just make a video on the basic manual settings. And that's all the questions I have for this video. Leave your question in the comments, and in my next video I will answer them at the end of the video. Alright, see ya.